Okay, good morning, Year 7. So I've managed to get some software that will be able to let me record my screen for you. So this is going to be like you're just in a lesson in B30 with me, and you're looking at the whiteboard in the room, and I'm talking to you and telling you what to do. So I think this is going to be a really excellent thing. Just a warning: if you hear anything in the background, I think it's probably going to be my dog. So just ignore it. Okay, first step, what I'd like you to do is write your date, title, and learning objective. I'm going to say pick the second bullet point for your learning objective, as we're going to be focusing on different denominators more. Okay, so make sure that you underline your date and your title, and that if you're doing your work in your book, please draw a margin with a ruler and a pencil, just as you would at school. Don't let anything slip just because you're at home. Okay? Now, at any point, you can pause the video just to help yourself catch up or make some notes or whatever. So just bear that in mind. Now, let's go on to our first page. So here, I'd like you to copy that sentence into your book. Pause the video if you need to. I want you to copy that sentence into your book and also the example number 1. So looking at this example number 1, we've got 2/3 plus 1/3. Now we know that they've got the same denominator. They both got 3's here, don't they? They've both got 3's here, so that means they're the same thing, same fraction family. So 2/3 plus 1/3, that means with these ones where they've got the same denominator, all you have to do is add the tops together and keep the bottoms the same. So the numerators add together and the bottoms stay the same. So 2 add 1 gives us 3, and then we have 3 on the bottom because the denominator stays the same. Now you'll know that means 3 divided by 3, because remember when we're talking about fractions, the fraction line in a fraction means divide. So 3 divided by 3, how many 3's go into 3? Well, that answer is 1, and we've simplified it perfectly, so our answer is 1. Your second example is dealing with different denominators. I'd like you to copy this sentence down. When we add or subtract fractions with different denominators, then we must find a common denominator. And I'd like you to use a highlighter or a different coloured pen, or underline it. I'd like you to underline common denominator. And then after that, I would like you to copy down example number 2. Now, you'll see that we have an example of adding different denominators and then subtracting different denominators. So I've gone down too far there. Let me just see if I can go back up again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to split my page into 2 sections, just so we're working cleanly on one side for one of the questions and then on the other side. So we're going to start with 1/4 plus 1/3 on the left-hand side. Now, when it says talking about finding a common denominator, basically what that means is you want to find the lowest common multiple of 4 and 3. In simpler terms, what you want to find is the lowest number that they both have in their times tables. So we need to think about what number is both in the 4 and the 3 times table and is the smallest number that they both have. Well, if we go through their times tables, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, we know that 12 has to be the lowest common multiple. It's the lowest number they both have. So let's get going with this question. So we've got 1/4 plus 1/3. Now I'd like you to do your working out one below the other. That's a lot neater, and it keeps it it stops you getting confused working next to each other. Having them one on top of the other, I feel, is a much better way of setting it out. So we all know, we've just found out that the common denominator has to be 12, so I like to write those in before I even begin. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about, what did I multiply 4 by to get to 12? Well, we know that you multiply it by 3. And so I have to do the same to the top. 1 times 3 is 3. What did I multiply 3 by to get to 12? I multiplied it by 4. And so I've got to do the same to the top. 1 times 4 is 4. Now they've got the same denominator, I can do what I did before, add the numerators together, and I get 7 twelfths. Now, can I simplify that any further? No, I cannot, because there is no number that divides into 7 and 12. Okay, so that's your final answer, 7 twelfths. Now let's have a look at the next one. So we've got 7 ninths, take away 2 fifths. I'm just going to write it out up here. excuse my handwriting, I'm actually doing it with my finger on my Chromebook, so it kind of looks like a 3-year-old's written it, but you'll just have to go with it. 7/9 minus 2/5. Now let's think about what is the common denominator of 9 and 5. Now lots of people think that, to find the lowest common multiple, you just have to multiply them together. But what if I asked you to do 2/5 add 7/10? 2/5 add 7/10. Would it be the best thing to multiply 5 by 10? No, it wouldn't, because you only actually need to change one fraction there. You only need to change the 2/5. So actually you need to look out for things like that, because multiplying the denominators together does not always get you the lowest one. And if you don't get the lowest common denominator, then you always have to end up cancelling a really large fraction afterwards, which is a lot of extra work and can make a lot more mistakes. So you've got to be really careful. Now we can see that the lowest common multiple of 9 and 5 is 45. It works this time, but as I said, not always. So we write our common denominators in. And then we think about, what did we multiply 5 by to get 45? Well, we multiplied by 9. What did we multiply 9 by to get 45? Well, we multiplied by 5. So we've got to do the same to the numerators, because we've got to balance and find the equivalent fraction. So 2 times 9 is 18, and then 7 times 5, 35. So we've got to do 35 minus 18. 35 minus 18, well, you can just take away 20 and add 2. That's what I would do. You get down to 15, add 2 is 17, so you get 17 over 45. Now I'm going to give you a moment to think about, can that be cancelled? I'm hoping a lot of you are saying, no, miss, that can't be cancelled, because 17 is a prime number, and 17 also does not go into 45. So that cannot be cancelled. That is your answer. That's as simple as it's going to get, 17/45. Now your questions, as I said, pause whenever you need to. Your questions are on the next page. So you've got 16 questions here. The first 8 are adding and the second 8 are subtracting. Now I want to draw your attention to this one. Would 6 times 3 be the best thing to do here? No. So be careful. Same sort of thing here. No, it would not be the best thing to do. And also here, goodness me, you'd only need to change 1 there. So don't do any extra work than you actually need to. And don't multiply 12 by 4, because you're going to end up with a really, really large fraction that you're going to have to cancel. And lots of people make mistakes when they cancel. So it's always best to go for the lowest common denominator that you can find. So these are the questions that I'd like you to do in your books. I want you to set them out exactly as I did in the examples. And then on the next page, you've got an extension question. So Rod, Jane and Freddie all went out for pizza but could not finish their extra large pizzas. Rod had eaten 5/8, Jane had eaten 9/10, and Freddie had eaten 2/3. How much pizza is left? Now, for those of you that get the answer right, I shall award 5 house points to you for this extension question, okay? So don't forget, when you're submitting your work, make sure that the picture of your extension work is really, really clear, just so I can see if you've got the right answer or not, and if I can award you those house points. So please submit a picture of your work on the Google Classroom or email me a picture. Any questions, please email or comment. I'm here at my computer all day waiting for you to comment if you have any problems. Answers to your questions are actually on the next page today, just so you can kind of mark as you go along and submit your marked work to me. So that would be absolutely lovely. I hope you all have a lovely day, and please let me know if this video was helpful. I'd love to get your feedback if this video was really, really helped you or not. Okay, have a lovely day, Year 7. And I shall speak to you tomorrow.